How's it going, everyone? This is Dr. Hefe playing some Dicey Dungeons, and this is a game that I got as a gift from a good friend, Crapelin, for the Steam Autumn Sale, and man, I've been having a blast with it, so I decided I wanted to make a video on it. So this game was released in 2019 by Terry Cavanaugh, who's the same person who did VVVVV and Super Hexagon, which the gameplay is not too similar, but I think you can hear the music, the similarities in the music if you ever played those games before. But enough talking about old games. I mean, this game's kind of old. Let's get to this game, this newer game, this game that I've been having a blast with. Let's just jump in with the warrior. We'll do one of the earlier episodes just so we can see the game, you know, enjoy Lady Luck taunting us. Yep, an inevitable failure. Hopefully not. Hopefully I get to show off more of the game to you all. Hopefully get to show off a winning run. But man, this game is amazing. So here we have the HUD. You have your health, your money, some dice. Talks about when you level up. You get a look at your equipment real quick. We start off with just a basic sword. And we'll just talk about it as we play, because I think that's just the best way to show this game off. So we're the warrior. We have our special abilities. So you saw in our equipment, we didn't have this thing combat roll, which allows us to re-roll a dice. And this game is all about dice. I mean, it's in the name. It's called Dicey Dungeons, but it's all about rolling dice. We're rolling dice, they're rolling dice, and then we're just doing moves. We're doing attacks. It's a little bit Pokemon-esque. You know, we have our little guy down here. There's them up there, and we're doing our set of moves against each other. And what we can do is we can actually look at their moves. We can see what he gets to do. So if he rolls an even dice, he does 5 damage to us. An odd dice, he gets to add 3 shield. Cool stuff. But basically, you know, we have a 6 already. We don't need to re-roll, but we'll do it just for fun. Double 6s, my goodness, I need to go to Vegas. But yeah, we just do that. We do our damage. And then we always get to click end turn. So that's kind of nice that it doesn't automatically end turn. Oh, we could attempt to flee. You know, I never have fleed before. So this 6, even though it's a 6, it could have been a 2, could have been a 4, it's still going to do 5 damage to us. We aren't too worried. We have another 6, enough to take that guy out. And this is going to be very straightforward with the warrior. Maybe I'll show off the other classes in other videos, because they're also interesting. It changes up the mechanics enough to keep it interesting and fresh. These items that you find are also randomized. So you have a whip where we can do fire damage and inflict burn. And that's another cool thing about the game. There's actual damage types, so certain enemies will be strong against damage types, like taking half damage, or weak, taking double damage. This is cool that on a 6 we can inflict burn. So we'll just keep re-rolling, see what we can get. Well, we can't inflict burn, but we have enough damage to kill this guy in 1 turn anyway, so not too worried. Every time we level up, we get health increase, and it heals us all the way to full, and we got an extra dice. So now every turn we're going to be rolling 3 die, and we can see that for ourselves as well as for the enemies that we come across. And when I come through here, I like to, you know, make sure we have access to these health, these apples, which can be used to restore your health. So not only do you get health when you level up, but you can also get health by eating apples. There's also equipment that gives you health. Currently we don't really have, you know, something to do with our 3rd die, but if we get more equipment, which we'll get from that treasure chest, then, you know, we'll have something to do with it. So as we can see, if it's burning, it's going to cost this guy 2 health to access the dice. And not only can we do abilities to them, but they can have abilities that they do on us. So we have Fury, we can double our next action. So we can basically do something twice. So let's use it. We'll do 6 damage twice and do 2 burn. So this guy's, he's toast. There's no way he could use either of his dice, because we have burn too, so they both be on fire. But let's just finish him off. You know, no need to mess around. No need to prolong the inevitable. Prolong his suffering. Alright, so bump is great. As we saw, it does dice value +1, so when we get into a battle, hopefully I'll be able to show it off. It's real nice, you know, for rolling a 5. We can bump that up to a 6. So we have 1 5, bumps it up to a 6. We now have 2 6s. We're doing maximum damage, setting this dude on fire. He's not having a good time as is. He's already standing over here, sneezing, crying. Like, he's not even going to be able to do any damage to us this turn either. He's just having a hard time. But it's okay, buddy. You'll get there. I mean, not today, not in this round, but he'll get there one day. So you can see just how quickly this game flows and, you know, how much fun it can be. So we could take the Spike Shield or the Boomerang. Let's take Boomerang. We're going to go all-out damage. And as you can see, there's only so many slots that we can put in here. So we can have 3 large items or 6 small items. I suppose this is like a double size and this is a half size. There's, you know, who knows how the naming conventions work. But here we go. We come into the shop. They have items for us. Like, so you can have each run be a little bit different. It reminds me a lot of Slay the Spire, except you're not building up a full deck. You're just trying to get some items, but there's a lot of good randomness in it. And I like it because not only does the randomness help you, it helps your enemies as well. But even when you get screwed over, by luck, they can get screwed over as well, which can really save your run. So let's buy this broadsword. It's a straight up upgrade over our regular sword. And we'll keep the whip, we'll keep all this other stuff. We don't really have enough money to buy anything else. No, everything else is too expensive. Let's go beat up Stereo Head. And this guy will show, you know, he's weak to shock. If we had a shock item, we could do double damage to him, but unfortunately we don't. What can you do? And yeah, so we'll do our 6. We'll burn this guy up. We'll bump it up. So we can do 10 damage to him. I think we'll kill him next turn either way, so we don't need to do a bunch of extra damage to ourselves. So let's see what he's going to do to us. He can't even use this 6. So like you can see on these little dice things that there's different requirements for a lot of items. So now our bump, we can only use a 3 to bump it up to a 4 perhaps. Should not be too big of an issue, because, yeah, we should have enough damage to kill Stereo Head as is. You can see there's things here where maximum of 4. There's other items where you need to either have an even or an odd, as we saw with the Magician. I didn't really talk about in here what this number is. So 7, that means you need to get a total of 7 from your dice to get 4 shield. And that can be like a 6 and a 1. You can go over as well. You could put in 2 6s. You're just kind of wasting some dice potential. Possibly. And I just exited without grabbing some food, which is kind of silly, a little bit foolish, but should not cost us the run at all. Again, this is like the first run, pretty much the tutorial run, and that's kind of maybe what I'm doing here. Although, I don't know if I would call this a tutorial. So let's go through here, we'll do some big damage to this guy. You know, we can do some huge damage with this. 12 to him, but it's a boomerang, so it comes back and hits us in the face. And then we do another 3 damage. So actually, if I played that a little bit better, I could have done the boomerang to hit him, come back, and then done Fury to double our burning attack. Done a lot of extra damage to him, but it should be fine either way. This guy's just going to unlock his Keyblade, do 3 damage to us, but we'll be able to very quickly end his life on this turn. So we'll just do another 5 and 7, take him out. Again, this game may look very easy, and playing as the warrior initially it is very easy, but it gets extremely more difficult as you progress throughout the game, and some of the other characters that you play as, you know, I wouldn't say that they're inherently more difficult, but it's just a bit more difficult to play as them. So let's Fury up. We're going to do 16 damage here. And then we can actually do 10 damage to the enemy. We'll take 5 damage ourselves. We could do extra if we wanted to. And it doesn't matter that we're going to do this damage to ourselves because we're about to level up. I don't know if I really pointed it out earlier, but this is your little XP bar. And as you see, we gain XP for each time we defeat an enemy, and the amount of XP that we gain is based on their level. So a level 3 person will give us 3 XP, and here we can see we level up in 14. It says 14 stars, XP, same. We have a 6 shooter, we need a 6, and then we do 6 damage, I suppose. That seems okay, not great. Maybe could be useful because we can use it more than once, so it has 3 uses in a turn. So if we were able to consistently get 6s, it could be pretty good, especially since we have 4 dice. But, I mean, I'm like alright with it. Let's see, so we can do 6 damage, do 2 burn. This gives you more bumps, which is pretty nice. This allows us to do a lot of damage to the enemy, but only 3 to ourselves. So we're going to upgrade this one. Again, this run is pretty straightforward, so we pretty much can't make a wrong decision. But I like the fact that we can now do 12 damage to the enemy and only take 3 ourselves, instead of taking 6 each time. Although now, when we get a bunch of 1s, it does feel like, oh, it would have been nice to be able to bump it up a little bit more. So here we go, we're going to do 6 to this guy, we'll do 8 to him, take 3 ourselves. Another nice thing is you can hover over your limit break, which is your special ability, which procs when you take a certain amount of damage. Very similar to the limit breaks in Final Fantasy. And it will tell you just how much more HP damage you need to take. And so that can be useful if, say, we're using the boomerang and we want it to Fury and make sure that we got our limit break. It's always kind of good to use it as soon as you get it, but sometimes you want to save it a little bit. So this guy's going to poison us up. Poison just goes straight through. As you can see, it pierces our shields. Very similar to the poison in Slay the Spire, where it does damage and then ticks down by 1. Oh, now we have like so many good rolls here. Here we go. Let's just ruin this poor soul's day. In fact, we don't even, I mean, we always do 3 damage to ourselves anyway, so it doesn't matter what dice we put in there. And we left these apples here to heal ourselves up, so nothing wasted. Ooh, here's our Midnight Charm. We can roll 2 6s on a roll of 10. So that could be pretty good with our 6-shooter. Although, I kind of like our current kit. We could be doing damage and adding poison, which would be really nice if we had a strong poison build, but we don't right now. Also down here, in this lower right-hand corner, I didn't mention this yet, is our floor that we're on. We have 3 skulls filled in, meaning that we're on floor 3. We have a 4th floor, a 5th floor, and a final 6th floor. So we can see how far we are now. Another one gets filled in as we go down another floor. So let's keep on fighting. Here we have 3, 4, 4, so we need 11 to level up. The combined XP from these 3 enemies will give us 11. So we know that if we fight all 3 of them on this floor, we'll gain enough to level up and refill our health, which will be nice. But we don't have to fight all of them. We could go directly to the trapdoor. I just like to clear it out because you can see as you level up, you gain more HP, you gain more dice. It's just seems like a good thing to do. So let's use our Fury. Let's go all out. Balls to the wall, slicing this dude to pieces. He really didn't stand a chance. So we got in the chest here, a staff. We can deal 6 damage and burn 1 dice. That's kind of what we're already doing with our whip. But maybe if we couldn't reliably get 6s, which is a bit easy to do with our warrior, we get 4 dice rolls, plus we get 3 more rerolls of those dice. So it's pretty often that we're going to get a 6. And then also we have the bump, so any 5s that we get are also going to turn into 6s. So here we don't even need to do any extra rerolls. We already have the 3 6s that we're going to put in to all these dice to damage the guy. And I'm not looking at the enemy moves, but if you were playing this game through, it would be a good idea to look at the enemy moves, see what they can do, which can kind of determine what strategy you want to use. Okay, so he's unlocking weapons to use on us. He gets a shot, which is going to disable one of our equipment. So now we actually have a use for one of our dice. We can throw it in here to unlock the shock. And it can be any sort of dice, but probably we would want to use one of our lowest rolled dice. So here we'll throw a 4 in there. And let's see, I don't think we need to use our Fury. We can save our Fury for the next enemy on this floor. But I believe we have enough to just destroy this person. So now we're going to fight this bird. I'm going to grab the health because we're going to level up after fighting them anyway. Let's go check out this shopkeeper. So the green shopkeeper, they do a trade. So they would trade my bump for the toxic ooze. So if we were going for a poison build, this may be a good trade. But right now, I really do like having this bump. So sorry, no deal. Let's go fight the loud bird, the last enemy on this floor. Keep on rocking and rolling. Let's just get straight to re-rolling these dice. See if we can get a 6. We did not. That's unfortunate, but it happens. So let's just do a bunch of damage. We'll take a little bit ourselves, but we should be fine. We should be fine. And we can see here that we actually know how much damage the enemy could do. They can only put an odd in here, so it would do weak damage for, I don't know if this is an earth item, but basically it gives you a weakened status. But they could only do 5 damage, so there's no way they can kill us this turn, even if they do roll incredibly well. So it looks like they're going to be able to silence us, which we'll be able to see the effect. We cannot use special character skills or limit breaks, and we get a weaken again. So our equipment's going to become less good. So we see we only can put a 3 here, so maximum of 5 damage instead of potentially putting a 6 there for 8 damage. Now we burn, but we don't actually add the burn effect, and now we have to put 2 dice here to break the silence. Not really worth it, especially when we can just hit them for 12 damage. Oh, that's right, I didn't point out that they had a dodge ability. So this bird could dodge us, something I should have looked at. We could have done a smaller attack and then made sure to kill them that turn, but it's fine. We're about to do, let's bump that up. We're going to do 5 more damage here, kill off the bird. Now, then again, if we were playing perhaps at a later episode where you had to play optimally, that could have been a critical mistake. So we have a shield bash. We don't have anything that really gives us any shield, but this could be good if we did have a lot of items that built up our shield. Let's just upgrade our equipment. We can add 1 more damage to this. We can bump our dice up a little bit more, or you can burn more. Also, you can click to backpack just to see what you have in here. Maybe you want to upgrade this instead. 6 uses for the 6 shooter. That makes sense. Ooh, Staff Plus, so we can deal 8 damage and burn a dice. So that would be a little bit better than our current whip, which would only do maximum of 6 damage. Something else to do with our extra dice as well. You know, thinking about it, let's just upgrade our broadsword. It's a really strong weapon. Making it even stronger is a good idea. So we got another floor, floor 5. We got even stronger enemies. 2 level 4s, 2 level 5s, you add that up, it's 18. We need 18 to level up, and yeah, so let's just get straight to it, fighting these enemies. Again, like I said, I like to fight enemies that give us health, just in case we take a lot of damage, need to heal back up. Here's the Singer. Let's check out her moveset. I haven't been doing this for all the enemies, but for the higher level ones, let's try and remember to look at all their movesets. So if she gets a total of 20, she'll do 12 damage. That's quite a lot. And she also has a couple other attacks that are going to weaken us. That could be devastating. Hopefully it's not. Ooh, no 6s this turn. Unfortunate, unfortunate. So let's just keep doing some damage. We'll save our Fury for the next turn. Hopefully we get a 6. That would allow us to do a lot of damage. Just going to do a couple attacks to us that's going to weaken us, and then put some dice in there. Now it's down to 12, which would be pretty easy for her to get. But we're just going to do our best to make sure she doesn't do that. So let's do 24 damage right here. Take a little bit of damage ourselves, and then just finish her off with a broadsword minus. Doing pretty well. Let's grab a little bit of health. Can't hurt. Chocolate Cookie, 12, repeat the next action. So for 12, we could get basically the same thing that our special ability gives us, the Fury attack. Oh, here we have some more upgrades that we could buy. We can also restore our health. We're not going to do that right now. Yeah, sure, let's buy an upgrade. Do we upgrade our whip, or do we go into here and upgrade the staff? Just to burn, get a little bit of extra burn. You know what, let's upgrade the staff. We'll grab this one. Let's change something out. Let's not just go with what we've been going with the whole time. We'll come over here, we'll fight the snowman. It's good to know that in the shop we have extra health, just in case we take more damage, get close to dying. If your life goes below 40, you die. This is a roguelike, so the end runs once you hit below 40. So we're looking pretty darn good here, pretty darn good. Let's go with another 12 to him. Do 6 here, and in fact we can do this just to get a burn. Oh, and you saw how much damage he took. He was weak to fire. So good thing we did that attack in there. Let's look at his attacks. He has odds to throw snowballs at us and freeze us. Hopefully he gets at least one of those. Sometimes the enemy rolls pretty poorly and they don't even do any attacks that turn. So like I said, the luck can screw you over, but it can also screw the enemy over. So you saw the frozen. Turns the highest dice rolled into a 1. Our dice are all 1s now. Lots of fun. But we should be fine. We should be fine to... Let's just end this snowman with a nice toasty staff burning him. Minus 16. He was destroyed. So if you know your enemies' weaknesses and strengths, you could switch up your equipment, change what you have. So perhaps if we ran into an enemy that was strong against fire, we would change it to maybe the 6-shooter or the sword. Because, you know, why would you be doing less damage? And it's nice that these little characters have little sayings for us. You're back. We missed some amazing karaoke. You would not believe how great the Banshee is once she gets going. I wonder if we're going to run into the Banshee this turn. It looks like she is hanging out here. Let's go over here, grab the food just in case. Let's not go to the equipment screen. That was a mistake. Over here, we're going to fight the Kraken. Let's check out what moves it has. So it can curse us. We'll see what that does if it shows up, as well as blind us. And it can use Overwhelm, so it does only 1 damage, but then it gets +1 damage each use, and only 2 uses per turn. So even though it rolls 5 dice, it can't just do a ton of damage. There's only 2 uses for that, but it could blind us or curse us. So let's keep rolling. Actually, we don't need to. We did roll a 6, but we could bump this up to a double 6, as is. And let's Fury it up. Let's just do a ton of damage, though. Even though it does damage back to us, it's fine. It charges up our limit break. We're not worried about it. Almost enough to kill the Kraken on the first turn. So he's burning, but he's going to be able to curse us. He's going to blind us. And he's going to beat us up. So cursed. Well, all equipment has a 50% chance to fail. It disappears once triggered. And we have blind, so we can't see what these dice are. It's pretty difficult to deal with that, but we should be perfectly fine. So I'm going to actually use this here. So cursed, the dice goes away and your equipment goes away. A major bummer if you had something that had a lot of reusable uses, like if we were only rolling with the 6-shooter and it went away, we'd be screwed. But now we have enough to attack this guy. He only had 1 health, so we weren't too worried about using the blind dice either way. And let's go on to the Banshee. We have 27 out of 40. We're getting somewhat low. I don't think she's going to be able to kill us. Let's see where her moves are. So she can silence us. When we saw earlier that takes away our special moves. We have to pay 2 dice to unlock it. And she can Shriek at 2 to curse us. And she has freeze abilities to us. So she can output a lot of damage, but we should be okay. Let's bump this dice up. Let's do our damage. Let's hit her for that. Take a little bit of damage and then throw some fire at her. End the turn. She's going to be donezo for the next turn. I'm pretty sure about it. Ooh, but she's going to do some freezing damage to us. So, you know, we could die next turn if we don't manage to defeat her. Let's see what we can do. Are we going to be able to do it? Well, I know that we will be able to, because we can just bump this up, go into Fury, do 24 damage right here. And we're not too worried about going down to 6, because this should give us enough EXP to gain the next level. Oh, poor Banshee. One thing I didn't mention is this art style. I'm loving the cartoonishness of it, but also the characters, they look like they have some sort of, you know, look at him. He's got like this big smile. He's got character. He's got like emotion to it. And same thing for the enemies. The smug ones look smug. The sad ones look sad. It's cartoony, but it's got great... Like, look at her. Look how smug this Girl Scout cookie is. Girl Scout cookie? Girl Scout. Apparently those two are just linked inextricably in my mind. I mean, she does have cookies all around her, so... And she's even talking about me buying cookies. I'm sorry. I can't. I gave all my money to you last year. Yeah, I think we should be fine, though. Oh, we didn't get all 6s, but it doesn't really matter. We have enough to bump this up to 8. So let's do some damage. We'll burn her up. Let's see what her moves are. On an even, she can do 1 fire damage and burn a dice, and it gets stronger each time she uses it. So this is an enemy who you wouldn't want to have a long fight against. A pocket knife? Just imagining a Girl Scout shivving you. And she has that chocolate cookie, same thing that we had, so she can do a fury attack on us. So let's just keep fighting. Do attack to her, we take a little bit of damage. Hopefully we'll unlock our fury next turn. Ooh, looks like she could be able to activate this chocolate cookie, but it looks like she's choosing not to. She's just choosing to shiv us non-stop. We have one of our dice on fire. If we roll really well with our other dice, we won't need to use it and take the fire damage. Doesn't look like that's in the cards for us right now, so let's do some fury, attack her, do a lot of damage. What should we do next? We don't really have enough to hit her with the fire, but it's fine. If we were really concerned, we probably wouldn't use this dice, and we won't, just to play it safe. Like, there's no way we're gonna die this next turn. I say that and watch as, you know, the foot goes right through the mouth. But as I said, you know, there's no way we're gonna die next turn, and we have enough damage to take her out. So there we go. Boss down. Game complete. And we get to hang out. We get to see this cute little windscreen. Oh, so we're gonna spin the reel. You know, it's definitely possible that we might win. It's not rigged at all. That's why we're here. We're here to win the big money, and oh, looks like we got screwed over again. Well, better luck next time. Yep, more Dicey Dungeons. Aw, this guy's cute. He is excited to see us. So yeah, that's it for this introduction to Dicey Dungeons. We showed off the warrior. Maybe next time we will show off our friend the thief. And let's just look at the characters. We got the robot as well, the inventor, the witch, and the jester, a new unlock that I just got. So yeah, I'm loving this game. Hopefully you guys can get this on sale, or if you really find it, you know, very enjoyable, just pick it up. I think it's worth, you know, I think it's worth it at full price. Definitely worth it on sale. Yeah, so that'll do it for this episode, this video. If you liked it, you know what to do. Until next time, do remember, as always, to take care of yourself and keep on Lady Luck's good side.